Good morning. I mean, look, a couple of things I think from me. First thing is it's a really wide-ranging and genuine issues-based discussion. So, whether it was workers and skills, whether it's education, whether it's infrastructure, the RMA, tourism, interest rates, inflation, it was all covered. And I think both sides gave as good as they got, and very candid, very frank, and that was excellent. I know business leaders were very appreciative and made quite clear they thought it was an excellent gesture for the Prime Minister, a new Prime Minister, to make his first meeting with them and show the importance of business to New Zealand and our future. I think the other thing to say is coming out of the meeting, there's a real sense, again, from both the Prime Minister personally and also from business, that we want to work closely together without ideology, acknowledging there's a bunch of difficult issues globally and in New Zealand when it comes to the economy, but there's a real desire, I think a genuine desire, to work closely together on New Zealand's issues.
Are there any concerns amongst Auckland business that some of the projects or programs that might be reined in could be big Auckland infrastructure or development projects?
I think what you've got is a sense from business they really strongly welcome the back to basics, or in the Prime Minister's words, a bit bread and butter approach. That's absolute right. We're in difficult times at a level, and so focusing on core issues that matter right now is perfect. What that also requires is a bit of a clearing away in relation to some of the controversial policies that are hard to implement, that are controversial, and he got that message pretty clearly. Around infrastructure, look, there's always difficult trade-offs and decisions to be made there. We want to see that, but whilst people might disagree on the projects, we want to make sure they're the right ones that are going to move the dial in terms of congestion, climate change, the issues that matter.
What's controversial? Is that fair pay agreements?
Oh, we know what the controversial issues are because businesses told us pretty clearly. It's a media merger, it's Three Waters, it's jobs or income insurance. They really are at the top of the list. And I suppose there's a sense that at an interesting and difficult economic time, those sort of things, either on the back burner or frankly from business perspective, probably better canned, focusing on the things that really matter. And so far, that's what the Prime Minister is saying he wants to do.
And you had the CEO of TVZ in there as well. Did he comment on that?
It didn't come up specifically, no.
Did you get a sense of which projects the Prime Minister might be wishing to rein in, like specifically?
No, I think, we're talking about an hour meeting with the 30... they're not odd, but I was going to say 30-odd people there. And the reality of that is it was a wide-ranging issues-based discussion. Probably in terms of any single topic, that was because I think the Prime Minister raised it, that issue of workers and labour, and that had a good chewing over. But from there, it was infrastructure, it was tourism, it was agribusiness, it was the role of free trade and diplomacy, education, as I say. There was a lot to go through, and I wouldn't want to suggest that it was once over lightly. I mean, I think high value engagement for business leaders and for a new Prime Minister.
So what do you think that immigration is
I'll
like?
take like two more. I think.
Do you think that immigration policy is likely to be different under this new Prime Minister?
I think it's the message he's got. He certainly didn't push back on that. Let's see where that goes. But, he gets, I think, and certainly the message got that business confidence really matters. Recession is inevitable, and in a confidence game, actually, certain policies and leadership can really make a difference. Those basic things are around inflation and what can be done there. Spending was touched on there, public spending around that, but also, look, the other issues we've talked about as well.
So what scorecard would you give the PM based on? What scorecard would you give him based on?
Look, so I don't think it's for me to do that, but I think what I can say from a business perspective is a couple of things. His first meeting has been with business. That's impressive to business leaders, and it gives a sense that the economy really does matter, and that is refreshing to us. I think that's important. I think what's also true in terms of what he said, look, he hasn't put a foot wrong so far from a business perspective. We get a really clear sense that it's back to basics on issues we agree are the ones that matter, and that there's the need, the desirability to clear away a few controversial things, to make space in the Parliament, the executive and the media for a focus on what New Zealand should really be focused on right now.
What within that immigration policy do you think you're likely to see movement in the government on?
I don't think I can say that. I think all I can say is there was a message given, and it was received. And I think in the coming weeks we'll be looking to see where that goes. Hey, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.